Daytime baseball here on MLB Network. Today, Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Jaguars and the Cobras. Live baseball here on MLB Network, and it comes your way next. Don, the man, will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Hey, you can't always judge a pitcher by the numbers. I know the ERA is into the 4s coming into this start, but he's actually a pretty solid pitcher. And every once in a while, he could throw some decent games in there. It's not easy having an ERA under 4 in baseball. He's slightly over that, but this guy's a better pitcher than that ERA indicates.
Stepping up now, Edmundo Ayala. He will lead this one off today. Guys, you take a look at the home 9 as they enter play here this afternoon. They come in trying to rebound after a loss that snapped a modest 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, Matty, if they're going to clean up their recent trend right now, they're going to have to find a way for it to start on the mound. They can't go out like last game and allow a bunch of runs and not play sound defense behind them. Both those things are going to have to change if this team's going to get it going in the right direction.
Made a miss on the off-speed pitch that time. Edmundo Ayala goes down for the first out of the game. A swing, and this one is blasted to right field. Nothing's gonna stop it. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. 8th home run on the season for him, and that will break the seal early here. It's quickly 1-0.
I know hindsight's 20/20, but you can't throw that pitch to that guy. Don't forget, he homered yesterday, so you know he's locked in and ready to roll up there. We'll see if he learns from that mistake.
Standing in now, Nick W. As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. And he comes in as a player to watch out for, hitting well over 300 on the season. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And he looks at his sinker for a called 3rd strike, and now there are 2 gone.
Every pitcher gives up home runs, some more than others, but the best ones forget about them as soon as the next guy digs into the batter's box. He showed me a lot right there by going after the next hitter and striking him out on only 3 pitches.
Luke Wagner is at the plate as he watches ball 1. A ball and a strike. Looked like that one tied him up a bit. A swing and a miss.
Classic case of the front shoulder flying open on that off speed. Needs to stay compact and stay in the big part of the field.
And the throw is in time. It's a strikeout, and the play at first goes 2-3 for good measure as the inning is over. But they're off to a good start as they pick up. Jermaine Monticelli gets the ball in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, you can tell by this strikeout-to-walk ratio, 2-1, that this guy is more a pitch-to-contact guy than a strikeout-walk guy.
Now at the plate, Mark Lacey. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Mark Lacey.
Pitch on the way. Runs up and gets this one down. And the throw will be too late, so it's a bunt single to get him started here.
Batting second, the center fielder, Jonathan.
Stepping in now, Jonathan Adkins, as he runs up to bunt but can't make contact. That's strike 1. Fellas, you take a look at these guys as they get onto the field for the bottom of the first here this afternoon. They're on a great run of late as they come in winners of 7 of their last 9 games.
Yeah, Matty, this team has been playing really well right now, and this is case in point. Chance to jump out again to another 1-0 lead. They've really been doing that. They've been on attack, early offensive, almost ambush-like approaches to their at-bats, and it's working for them.
A chance now to take a look at how the home team lines up in this one. Mark, daytime baseball at home. What do we need to know about these guys?
You know, Matty, when I look at this lineup at first glance, the fact that they're last in doubles doesn't mean a whole lot to me. But then you got to say to yourself, if they're not driving the ball in the gap, they're certainly not driving it out of the ballpark. So this offense has to clean it up, play a little bit differently, be a little bit more aggressive on the base pass, because you can't expect them to string a ton of hits together.
Here's the 0-1. And a pitch out. Nothing doing, though, and that's ball 1. Now a throw over. Runner back standing. Lacy, base runner at first with 1 out. And another throw over, keeping particularly close tabs on him. And here's a ball hit in the air. Right fielder is on the run. He dives, but he can't make the catch. It's a foul ball. Swinging a ball line down in the left field corner. But this will be foul. He's set, and the 1-2 pitch. A bouncer to the left side. He's got it. One there. On to first. Not in time as he just hits the bag ahead of the throw. So that one wasn't quite hit sharply enough to turn 2.
Yeah, choppers like that make it really tough. You can't make the ball get you much faster, so the key is making sure you field it cleanly and at least get one, which they did there.
Fly ball heading for the alley. And that ball gets down out near the wall and should be extra bases. And they're not going to get him as he's in there to score. Into the box now, Michael Wright, and he puts it on the ground to second. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. But a run will score in the inning on this RBI double. Digging in, Edgardo Peralta, as it'll be 5, 6, and 7 up to kick off the second inning. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second.
Okay, here's the defense for the home team. And this team, they're not going to be moving around as much as some of the new age teams. The shifting and moving the third baseman over second base and the right fielder to play third base. This is going to be your stationary team, trusting pitchers to execute pitches.
At the plate, Zane Oaks. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. Comes into play here at 273. 10 home runs and 25 driven in. And he looks at a curveball that falls in 1-1. And they'll run this one in on him, and he can't connect, so he finds himself down 1-2 now.
Not much you can do with that one. Tied him up in knots.
That softly hit to right. Will that get down? Nope, it'll stay up long enough to be run down out there. Good break on that ball, and he's retired.
Batting second, the third baseman, Eric Evans.
Stepping into the box, Eric Evans. He'll get to take his first cuts here. And it's fouled away. 2 out, nobody on. And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2.
Down 0-2 to a guy with this much weaponry, 5 pitches he can go to, not looking good.
Well outside with the curveball for a ball.
He didn't look overly fooled right there because a lot of pitchers will go.
Swing and a miss. That retires the side, and that will do it. At the plate, Buford Christian. Day off for him yesterday, but back out there for this one. Oh, and he took a big swing at that one as this is driven out to deep left center field. Into the bleachers and gone. So a solo shot here to left center field. Home run number 5 on the year. As they take the lead, it's 2-1.
if you're going to give up a towering blast to one of the best players in their lineup, it's better to do it with no one on base. It stings, sure, but a solo shot isn't going to be the deciding factor in a game.
Into the box, Sean McKee. He gets it hard on the ground to the left. Fielded cleanly. Throw not nearly in time as he reaches it first.
Hey, that's great hustle right there out of the box. Not everybody's getting it right out of the chute from step one, but I have to ask you, Dan, how frustrating executing a pitch and there's an infield knock.
It is, D-Roy, and you can read that right off the bat as a pitcher. You can read the angle. You know that that ball is going to be hit on the ground, and you're thinking deep down inside, okay, there's a quick out, and it just wasn't meant to be.
Runners back. The 0-1. Into center field, line drive, base hit. At the plate now, Don the man, as the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike one. Gets the fastball by him here, and he's in control. 0-2.
Woo-wee. That was some smoke right there. High fire right on by.
Rounded down the third baseline, but this will wind up foul. Still 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first out.
Anytime a pitcher locates a fastball from the inside corner, it's going to be a tough pitch to hit. That one was spot on, and he had no answer for it.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. There's a swing and a drive hit well out to right field. Oakes back to the track as he takes it for out number 2. The relay, and he'll go ahead and take third on the fly ball to right, so he's 90 feet away now with 2 men gone. Digging in for his second at-bat, Jonathan Adkins, and their runners at the corners now. Here's the first pitch to him. Rolled slowly down the third baseline. This gets foul. It's 0-1. Chased a low ball there, and he's quickly down in the count. 0-2.
You know that nasty changeup's lurking right here. If I'm in the batter's box, I have to tell myself to stay back. I have to take pull side out of the equation, or that changeup's going to beat me.
Waved at and missed for the third out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. So it's a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We've played 2 full. The Cobras. Into the box now, Jose Ramos. And he's a guy really in need of something to click at the plate right now. It's been a rough go for him. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch.
Ball in.
Here's the 1-1. Good pitch there down below the zone. Got him to go after it.
Offered at that breaking ball below the zone, and that's a tough one to spit on. But the key is recognizing it coming out of the pitcher's hand earlier and making sure that it goes up before it comes down. More likely to be a hanger when that's the case.
Swing and a miss as he starts the third the same way he ended the second, with a punch out, 1 away. First pitch on its way. Jermaine Monticelli comes on with 1 away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. A little over anxious that time as it's a ball and a strike.
You have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
And a swing and a miss, and another punch out here. 6 already, and that's out number 2. Stepping in, Edmundo Ayala. First 2 men in the inning have both gone down via the punch out, so we'll see if he can fare any better. 0-1 the count. Hit the other way out toward right field. Right will get there, and he puts it away to retire the side. Settling in now, Brad Benton.
For the Cobras, the catcher, Brad Benton.
First pitch coming, here it is.
0-1.
The 1-0 home. Popped up. And he'll lunge forward to make the catch for the first out. And with that, we give you a look here at what's happening in the race in the National League Central. Stepping in and ready for another shot, Paul Taylor. He'll try to follow up the double in his last at-bat with another big hit right here.
Yeah, he jumped all over that first pitch last time up. Interested to see if he has the same approach this AB.
Inside, ball
And that misses inside, 1-0.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
Smoked on the ground up the middle. And that finds its way into center for a 1-out base hit. So a ground ball single up the center of the diamond makes it 2 hits for him on the afternoon. And his total currently best on the ball club through these first 6 or so weeks of the young season. To the plate now, Michael Wright. Runners off for second. Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out. Now the 0-1. He's on the move again from first. Pitch swung on and missed. The throw. He is not close as he's in there with a stolen base. A 2-1 score here as we play inning number 3. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. The 0-2 once more. Misses for ball 1.
2 strikes.
Love the high heater right there to raise the hitter's sights. Let's see if he buries something in the dirt right here.
Hit out towards second. Reined in. Throw gets him. 2 down. So coming to the plate, Buford Christian. He went deep in his first at-bat. We'll see what he's got in store for us here.
The last at-bat, Matty B, we heard this guy's a good fastball hitter. He got a fastball and didn't miss it. We'll see if they pitch him a little bit differently this time and mix in some off-speed pitches.
Line drive to left. And that'll get by and on through towards the wall. He's in at second safely. As also on the play, a run comes across to score. Standing in now, Sean McKee, as he can't catch up on a fastball at the letters, and it's strike one. Behind 0-2 now. To short, hit hard. Oh, and he can't pick it up cleanly. And the throw will be too late as he can't recover in time.
Wow, I think he took it for granted there a bit. Probably thought he had it in the bag, and he just lost concentration for a minute. Now his pitcher has to pick him up with 2 outs.
He's set. Here it comes. This is on the ground over to first. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. So it's one. Standing in, Alex Santana. He'll try to get it going here to begin the fourth.
It'll be interesting to see if they use that changeup in this at-bat. That last at-bat, that was a changeup he hit for a home run. I'm going to see if this time they don't go to more fastballs and curveballs.
1-1 the count. Here it comes. Good action on the sinker. 1-2. Sent on the ground out to second. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the fourth. Now at the plate, Nick W. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike.
I'd like to see this lineup start working the count a little bit more and drive up this pitcher's pitch count.
Strike 2 called on the inner half. 0-2 now. Looking to punch him out again. The pitch hit on the ground to short. And that's the second out. Next will be the cleanup hitter, Luke Wagner. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up. They set the target in, and this finds the inside corner for strike 1. Sinker, 1 ball, 1 strike.
1-1.
Hey, a 2-out walk right here would be the tying run to the plate. Even though it's early on, you got a guy on deck that has a lot of power.
Scooped up, and he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. So here now's the pitcher, Don the Man. First delivery to him on the way. Just behind the fastball there. 2 strikes now.
Just getting blown away so far. No reason to throw anything else to speed up his bat. Just stay right there.
Soft liner towards first. Oh, what a stop on the slide. Got him. And that's a huge play to keep the leadoff man off base. Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Mark Lacy. He flew out in his last at-bat. First pitch of the at-bat. Soft liner to the right side. Throw to first will get him. Already 2 away here in the home fourth.
The center fielder, 32.
Digging in once again, Jonathan Adkins. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
You have to be careful. You can't sleep on the bunt right here, even with 2 outs. They're playing him back, but this guy can handle the bat.
A bouncer up the middle. Throw not nearly in time, so despite the great effort, that'll go into the books as an infield single.
Hey, that's a heck of a job by the shortstop right there for him to range, at least get to that ball and show his pitcher with a diving stop. He's willing to get dirty all day long. Wasn't able to complete the play, but the effort was there.
They've gotten their hits in deep counts. They've gotten their hits in early counts. This has been a real onslaught.
Yeah, you can look at it one of 2 ways, Matty. Either they have a ton of respect for the man on the mound and they are just going to ambush tactics and it seems to work for them, or you can look at it the other way. They're just getting lucky.
Paul Taylor stands in for the 3rd time now as he takes a look at a ball. It's 1-0. hit the other way out toward right field. Long run for the right fielder. He's there to track it down, and that'll end the inning. Digging in, Edgardo Peralta. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. In there at the knees, strike one.
0-1's the count.
A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
Interested to see what the pitcher goes to now. After getting that late hack on the curveball, does he speed him up with some velocity?
Fastball swung on and missed for the first out. Into the box, Zane Oaks. First offering on its way. Popped him up. Benton is there. He's got it, and there are two down now.
Now batting, third baseman, Eric Evans.
Standing in, Eric Evans. Here comes the first pitch. And he starts him out with a strike on the outer half. Evans runs pretty well, which is interesting given the position he plays on the field. Usually the speedy guys are in the middle infield, and that is through into center field, a base hit. The throw into second. The tag, and they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired. Bottom of the inning now, and standing in is the veteran outfielder, Michael Wright.
The right fielder.
He's ready. Here's the first offering.
Right.
Popped up. Wagner over to his left. One down. Trying to pick things up where he left off. Buford Christian already 2 for 2. He'll look to add on right here. Ball one. And he fouls this one off. Now the 1-1 pitch is looked at for ball number 2.
Lots of hits given up, but so far no walks. At least he's making them work to get on base. Problem is, they haven't had to work too hard.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Still even at 2-2. 3-1 our score as we play inning number 5. Hit high and deep out to left center field. A ball that's carrying. Oh, and this kicks right off of him, but that'll hit off the wall in left center. And he is into second base with a double, his third hit this afternoon.
Well, when you're hitting the ball as well as he is, every time you swing the bat, you're thinking the ball's leaving the ballpark. He had a home run last time, and he almost had another one here. Nothing wrong with a double off the wall, though.
In now, Sean McKee as he rips it on the ground to second. And there are 2 away now.
Now back, second baseman.
Ready once again, Glenn Suarez. He's ready. Here's the first offering. 2 outs here with a runner at third. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's not having his best outing in this one, and I think that curveball is part of the reason why. He couldn't get on top of that one, and that's not the first time that's happened.
Into the corner and slicing foul.
Lucky he got a piece right there. He was definitely late on that pitch after seeing a previous off-speed pitch.
The 1-2. This is flared out towards second. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. So it's no.
Leading off for the Jaguars.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch.
Jose.
And he starts the number 8 hitter with a strike. 0-1. Fastball taken, but that gets the zone for a strike.
His command has been outstanding so far, hitting nearly all of his spots, and that's been a big factor why he's been so successful up to this point.
1-2. Here it comes. Got him. And that's 8 strikeouts now for him in the ball game.
Well, this has been a completely different performance from the offense that we saw yesterday. They were looking like the 27 Yankees 24 hours ago, but they've been held in check so far in this one. That's kind of how baseball goes, though.
Ball 1 to start the at-bat. Fouled away. We're in the 6th inning here in a 3-1 ball game. 1-2 now.
Wow, that was an ugly swing right there, and that tells us all we need to know. Nobody's picking the baseball up off this guy.
And that's into the corner, a foul ball and right.
Got to take advantage of that pitch right there. 0-2 breaker hanging over the heart of the plate. Not going to see too many of those today.
Another one sent foul. Again, a 1-2. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. And he finally wins the battle as this is swung on and missed for the second out. So he's just a third of an inning away from putting up another 0 as we take a look at the ball clubs with the lowest team ERAs. And we find that this pitching staff currently leads the NL in that department. So the lineup flips over and digging in, Edmundo Ayala. Didn't quite catch the zone there, ball 1. And a good heater as he just watches this baby, a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Weak grounder back to the mound. And they won't have a play as he reaches it first. Let's see how this is scored. Stepping in now, Alex Santana, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. 2 out with a man at first. Pitch misses low. The throw down. And he'll be tagged out at second base. Trying to get into scoring position, but instead the inning is over. Another look at the throw down that results in a 3rd out on the bases. Marty. Melancon enters to do the pitching in the bottom of the 6th. Next to hit will be the pitcher.
Leading off for Mississippi, the pitcher, John Dunham.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. High and deep down the left field line. And no one will get this one. This is skied into the air to straightaway center. Santana is there, and he has it for the first out. So the batting order turns over now and set to go Mark Lacy. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Now some action out in the bullpen as a lefty and a right-hander begin throwing. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch.
Nope, inside.
Wanted to get the front door curveball on the inside corner there, but it backed up a little and stayed off the corner.
1 out, nobody on. Line to short, but gobbled up there, and there are 2 away.
The center fielder, number 32, Jonathan Adkins.
Now at the plate, Jonathan Adkins. First pitch of the at-bat.
0-1.
The windup and the 0-1. Hit hard on the ground is short, and that's through for a hit.
Sometimes you need a little luck. Sometimes you need to get a ground ball with eyes, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Benton.
Into the box, Brad Benton. And a pitch out, nothing doing though, and that's ball one. Throw over to first, and a dive, but he's back in. And again a throw, and he'll dive back in. A runner on first with 2 away. And they pitch out here, but nothing's happening. Ball 2. Two-0 count, the pitch.
Fastball 3.
That's a great call right there. Fastball away with a guy who's got some jets on first base. Almost like a hybrid pitch out. Great for a catcher if that guy's running. Easy transfer throw to second base.
Here it comes, the 3-0. Is laid off, but in there for strike one. Here's a look over to first, and the runner back in standing. The 3-1 pitch. Runner goes for second. That's a strike to throw down. Not in time. He's in there at second. Well, when a stolen base is that close, it's interesting to check it out on Show Track. And as the numbers come in, you'll want to focus on the top speed. Really good, and it paid off there. The 3-2 pitch. And that misses, ball 4, so it's first and second now with 2 out.
Now batting, the third baseman, Paul.
Now to the plate, Paul Taylor. Trying to keep the deficit right where it is, the pitch.
Count 1-0.
And he fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, and ooh, that ran in and drilled him.
As a manager, you never really want to put a man on by a hit-by-pitch, but you absolutely hate to have it happen when it loads the bases. Now the pitcher is looking a little shaky, and the threat of a big inning is very real.
Digging in now, Michael Wright. His last at-bat didn't go his way as he popped out in foul territory.
Yeah, he's got to make an adjustment. You can tell this guy's been struggling with the bat in his hands. He's got a lot of frustration. He's gripping the bat too tight. He needs to relax, take a deep breath, and have a productive AB right here.
2 out, bases loaded. And he watches a called strike as this one bears in on him. 1-1.
That's a tough curveball right there to stay into as a lefty hitter. That ball looks like it's almost going to hit you, and it breaks over the inside half of the plate.
Fastball catches the black there for a called strike.
That's how you open up the outside part of the plate. Pound 2 balls in, and they get right back outside. Nice pitch.
Ball 2.
That misses, and we're even at 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bases are loaded here, 2 down. Now about a 58-foot breaking pitch that he wisely lays off here.
For the guy on the mound, this is one of those innings where nothing comes easy. He's thrown a bunch of pitches, and this AB hasn't been any different. Definitely laboring at the moment.
Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue. And he strikes him out. So a missed opportunity at the plate as he strands 3 runners, and the side is retired. Santana will stand in again as we take you back to earlier in the ball game. This one swing here has been the entire offense to this point, as this home run accounted for the only run they've tallied so far. Here comes the first pitch. And there's a fastball well off the plate inside. Yeah, we see a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen up in the bullpen. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Hit back toward the mound. And the throw to first is in time, so the leadoff man is gone here to start inning number 7.
The left fielder, number 2, Nick W.
In now, Nick W. Here's the first pitch to him. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Right is over to his right as he puts this one away. 2 down.
Now batting, catcher, Luke Wagner.
Now in the box, Luke Wagner. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Sinkers in there. No balls and a strike. Edge of the zone that time taken and ruled a strike.
You got to go into battle mode after falling down 0-2 and find a way to work yourself back to even.
And he will strike him out. 10 now in the ball game, and the inning is over.
For the traditional 7th inning, correct.
Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and next to bat will be the outfielder, Buford Christian.
Buford Christian.
Here's the first pitch to him. And he tries to hold back on the swing, but I think it would have been ruled a strike anyway. It's 0-1. Hard on the ground towards short. He's got it. And the throw forces him to lay out for that one, but he keeps a foot on the bag to record the out.
Mickey.
Ready for another chance, Sean McKee. First offering on its way. Sends that one out of play for strike 1. The windup and the 0-1.
Ball, that counts.
That's not a bad pitch right there. That two-seamer moving away from a left-handed hitter. Didn't get the strike, but I like the idea behind the pitch.
1-1. Little chopper back to the mound. And very quickly there, they're 2 gone to start the inning.
Now back, second baseman, Glenn Flores.
Striding into the box, Glenn Suarez. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And this is low, ball one. The pitch is circle change just a bit inside, and it's 2-0 now.
It's a lot easier to hit when you're putting yourself in good hitters counts. This guy's done a great job not swinging at pitchers' pitches, and when he's getting the ball in his zone, he's getting the barrel to it. He's been hot lately.
2-1 the count. And he gets under this one as the ball is skied into very shallow right. And that will conclude matters here in the seventh. Leading off the inning, Edgardo Peralta, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Even though we're moving into the back end of this game, they're only down by a couple of runs. You know that old slogan of bloop and a blast? They could certainly use that right now.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. And a first pitch sinker is over for strike one.
Hey, this guy's been throwing a gem so far. We're moving on later into this game, and he's right at about league average for first pitch strikes.
Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. And they'll try to tempt him with a curveball, but this bounces in front of the plate, and it's 1-2. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2.
Regardless of the result right here, to be down 0-2 and work it back to an even count, gotta feel like it's a win for the offense.
And he misses this one inside, and that'll run things full. 3-2.
Hey, leading off an inning in this situation, 3 balls on you. You have to know that a solo shot's not tying this game up. You have to find a way to get on base any way possible.
And he wasn't going to hit that one with an or. The strikeout, and there's one gone.
This has not been a weekend to remember for him. He's just been completely lost at the plate, flailing all over the place. Now that's his 6th strikeout of the series. They've really got him figured out.
At the plate now, Zane Oaks, as he'll take a changeup here for strike one. 0 for 2 for him to this point. Skied down the left field line. Left fielder is on the move, and he makes the catch in the corner.
Now batting, the third baseman, Eric Evans.
Ready for another shot now. Eric Evans. They're quickly down to their final 4 outs here tonight. Now here's the pitch.
1-0.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Hit down the line at first. Fielded cleanly, and he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. So nothing happening this time around. Home half of the 8th straight ahead. The Cobras are out in front here, 3-1. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Rafael Costa will come on now, and he'll slide into the 7 spot in the lineup following the double switch. Christian Berry is into the ball game as well, as he'll slide into the pitcher spot, hitting 9th now on the double switch. There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike. Set to deliver the 0-1. Behind 0-2 now. 0-2 count and the pitch.
Not a real good pitch there, 0-2. Probably not what he was trying to do with that fastball. He was trying to miss probably up and away, and he threw that one down into the dirt on an 0-2 pitch. Very rarely are you going to get hitters to chase an 0-2 fastball that's down in the dirt.
Got him swinging on the fastball there. Richard Wise is dealt with for the first out in the bottom of the inning. To the plate now, Mark Lacy. Try to bunt for a base hit here as he gets this one down. And he won't take any chances on that one as this is scooped away in foul territory for the first strike. Here's the 0-1. Hit in the air down the right field line. But no chance to run it down. It's a foul ball. The pitch. Action in the bullpen now as a right-hander begins to throw out there. Eighth inning of this low-scoring affair. 3-1 our score. Lake making contact on that swing, and will do it again on 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
The 2-2. Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. The 2-2 one more time. Liner towards second. And that's in for his second hit of the afternoon.
You never want to beat a pitcher that breaks a guy out of a slump, but this guy was too good. You knew it was a matter of time before he started barreling baseballs. That gives him a multi-hit game, and I'm sure he's feeling good about it.
And prior to the first pitch, he'll look to first. And the runner back. Another look to first, and a dive, but he's back. Another throw over, and a dive, but he's back in there. At the plate, Jonathan Atkins. There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. And it's gone. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. 4th home run for him on the season as they stretch the lead to 5-1.
Well, he turns on this thing and drives it out, extending the lead here to 4 in the bottom of the 8th. I wouldn't be surprised if that keeps the closer in the bullpen for now. No need to bring him in a non-save situation. Let him relax unless something happens at the top of the 9th that warrants getting him up.
Standing in now, Brad Benton. Pulled high in the air out to left field. W is going to get there as he backs up to put it away, and there are 2 gone now.
Third baseman, number 3, Paul Taylor.
Now at the plate, Paul Taylor. He's got to be looking for vengeance after getting plunked in his last at-bat.
Yeah, Matty, you're not lying. Last time up, squared right in the back. Hopefully it doesn't stiffen up. I want to see if he can get through something right here.
And a fastball's in there for strike 1.
Sometimes you can get away with a pitch in that location when you're running it up there that hard, but not consistently. You still have to work the edges of the zone most of the time.
But the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit. Throw into second, and this will wind up a closer play than I thought, but he's in there with 2 bases.
I think they'd stop pitching to this guy right now. He's been torching them all weekend, and he stays hot here with another extra base hit. They'll be happy when this series is over, so they don't have to deal with this dude anymore.
So now to the plate, Michael Wright, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball one. Struggling so far in this one and looking to erase his 0 for 4 ball game right here. That evens it up 1-1. From the belt, the pitch, and he lays off for a ball. 2-1.
Looks like this guy's afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone. Gave up that home run earlier in the inning. Needs to get back to being aggressive.
2-2.
Don't expect too many more high fastballs in this one. He is known for his sinker, keeping the ball on the ground.
The 2-2.
Now on 3-2 as a pitcher, you've got to go with the pitch that you feel most comfortable throwing with.
And that misses, ball 4, so it's first and second now with 2 out.
Well, it's obvious that earlier home run he gave up is still on his mind. He had him 3-2, but he didn't want to give him anything over the heart of the plate to hit, so we'll see if that walk comes back to hurt him.
Tyler Cunningham enters here looking to get the final out before the 9th inning. Buford Christian will be his first assignment here as he'll face him with runners at first and second and 2 away. From the belt, the pitch. And a slider not close here as he missed with it down and in. It's ball 1. Two men are on with 2 men out. A ball and a strike. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Hit weakly back to the mound. Throw on to first, and an important pitch there as they get out of the inning before things explode. But 2 come across to score in the inning courtesy of this 2-run home run. 9th inning straight ahead. It's now 5-1. Michael Jordan comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the 9th. Striding in to start the 9th, Jose Ramos, and they'll need him to get something going here. He's set, and the pitch. Off we go in the 9th as the first pitch misses for ball 1. The 1-0.
That's ball 2.
A couple strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at bat, trying to get ahead and put himself in a good hitter's count.
Now the 2-0.
Ball, that's in.
to be a sinker there, up in the zone a bit, but called a strike. And this pitch misses here. It's ball 4, and they've got a leadoff base runner aboard to start the 9th.
The third baseman, number 5, Christian Berry.
So striding in, Christian Berry, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. From the belt, kicks and deals. Line drive to left. And that'll get down for a base hit.
All you can ask as an offense is to try and get that tying run in the batter's box. And they've started out nicely right here. They've gotten 2 runners on. They're down 4. Grand slam is still in play. Let's see if they continue this nice offensive approach.
Digging in, Edmundo Ayala. And these guys are making a little push here. You have to like the effort despite the odds.
Yeah, you really do, Matt. Look, they still have a significant hill to climb, but hey, they string a couple of hits together here, and all of a sudden this thing feels doable.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. First and second here with nobody out. And he misses with it, 1-1. Gets him to swing at a pitch down and out of the zone, 1-2.
Good thing he didn't make contact with that pitch. Only thing he could do is probably hit that on the ground. It could be a double play ball.
Pitch in the dirt, and that scoots right on by. Goes to third with it, and he's going to make it up to third here as he advances on the wild pitch.
Man, it was already a dicey situation with 2 on and no out, and then things get worse with the wild pitch there. So instead of a chance to turn 2, they've got runners on second and third, and a base hit will drive in a pair.
Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first. Two pitches fouled away.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
The 2-2 one more time. It's laid off, and the count runs full.
These are the kind of ABs, regardless of the outcome, you go back to the dugout as an offensive player, and your teammates are loving on you for making that pitcher work and battling it out.
Now the 3-2 pitch. This is on the ground over to first, and he'll take it to the bag himself for the out.
Now batting, the center fielder, Alex Santana.
Jason Lee takes the ball now in inning number 9, looking to close the door.
Lee.
Santana will be the first to face him here as he'll stand in with 2 men in scoring position and only 1 away. From the belt, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, and he's behind 0-1. Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1. From the belt, the pitch. drilled down the line. But this will get foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Runners are at second and third with 1 down. Hit down the third baseline. Oh, and this goes right past him. He'll get it into second. To second now, but he's safe as a run will score on the play as well.
Never say never in this game, folks. It's late and the clock is ticking, but that RBI double might start making believers out of the entire dugout. We'll see if they can build on it and maybe get back into this thing.
In now, Nick W. as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. Here it comes, 1-0. Hit on a line, and this one's into center field. That's a base hit. The runner scores from second, and they inch a little bit closer. It's now a 5-4 ball game. Into the box, Luke Wagner. Pitch out, nothing doing. Three runs already home here. Fastball laid off well below the knees.
That can be one of the downfalls of pitching out. It puts you behind in the count, and if you throw another ball, you're kind of in a difficult spot.
The 2-0. Grounded back up the middle. Reined in. There's one. Back to first. A double play. And with that, the ball game is over.
Hey, there was no reason to panic. He gave up a hit, but he comes right back and gets a double play to end this thing. Great resiliency right there to secure the save and the victory for the team.
A 1-run finish today, 5-4 the final score. Mississippi took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Don, the man, earns win number 4 on the season, picking up 11 strikeouts along the way. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney down on the field, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for watching MLB Network.
Here now is our final line score. First for your victorious home team, 5 runs on 14 hits. No errors. They left 13 men on base. For the visitors, 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. They left 2 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.